Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to look at what it took to get our derelict garden back from the dead. We have a garden that was built by our former owner of the house maybe 10 years ago or so, and we've never used it. So we thought it's high time to jump on the bandwagon and start using the garden that is here. So join us today on our journey as we look at our garden. Now keep in mind, I do not have a green thumb whatsoever, and it's what I consider an amateur garden. We've looked up how to do some things and how to plant things, and it's all in the sun, so hopefully we will produce some vegetables and fruits that we'll be able to use later on in the season. We know we are very late to the game. This is very late spring that we're getting it done, but at least we're getting it done, and we'll have lots to learn from going forward. So as you can see behind me right here, we have quite a large garden. Behind that is a huge forest and a creek where we get lots of animal and deer and things like that that come up. So keep watching and you'll see some of the methods that we're going to use to try to deter some of those animals from getting into the garden. The first thing that we did was we got a new tiller and we tilled the area. It had a lot of grass and weeds and overgrowth in it, so we just really went in with a tiller to break everything up. Vince did a good job of doing this with one of the battery operated tillers that we got. So you can see a big difference between where he started out. This is the second time through with the tiller, and it's already looking much better with most of the weeds gone. Our next stop was to get some garden compost, and we used that to kind of spread around the entire garden. Raked it in as Vince brought it down by the wheelbarrow load, and mixed it all in to the area that he had just used the tiller on. Okay, so we're adding our vegetable compost in with our soil in the garden, and as you can see, we have a few rotten border logs here, so we got some new ones that have been acclimating out here, and we're going to repair and replace those as well. So we'll have a nice new border, but for now Vince is bringing down some loads of the vegetable compost, the gardening soil, and we are going to till it in and mix it in with this, and then we'll be ready to plant. So it's a nice big bed. Here's the back of the house. So it's going to be a nice sunny spot. We unloaded all of the vegetable compost. It was one big trailer load full, and it seems like the weeds just kept poking through no matter what. We do have a neat little garden ornament for the boys, a little wind spinner from our aunt and uncle. We got all of the garden compost spread out, and our crepe myrtles in the back of the yard are just starting to bloom. These are pink, the ones in our front yard are white. We then tilled up the ground for a third time, blending in all of the garden compost. You can see where I tried to make rows, kind of raked in 8 different rows so we can start planting the vegetables. We ran the sprinkler several times to keep the ground nice and wet so we could work with it better. Alright, so I started planting our tomatoes. These are the ones we grew out in the greenhouse. And I'm putting a little bit of this shake and feed all-purpose plant food in first, and then I'm putting in the tomatoes. And we watered the soil first, and we're going to water it again really good here soon. Okay, we got everything planted and labeled. We have tomatoes in this first row. We have broccoli in half of the second row. carrots in the other half. We have peppers, all kinds of peppers, Brussels sprouts and onions. This row is squash. We have cantaloupe and pumpkins, cucumbers and zucchini. So we're gonna water it up and see how it grows. You can see we still have quite a bit of weeds to get out as well. We have a lot of deer in our yard, so one of the things that we got is this solar powered repellent type thing. It puts off some kind of signal so that the deer or mice or bunnies or anything else that might come along will hopefully not eat our garden. So yeah, we'll see how they work. We got one in all 4 corners, and we'll see how they work. So that's our garden. Hopefully everything will grow. Cross your fingers. We do have quite a bit of weeds and grass and things that are still in between each of the beds. We're thinking maybe putting some mulch or something down to keep those down so I don't have to weed so often. But yes, hopefully we'll get some good crops out of this, even though it's pretty late in the season. It's not looking too bad. And I need to get out here and do a little bit more weeding to get that last bit of grass out. But otherwise it's looking pretty good. All right, so this is our garden. This is a couple days after we planted everything. We got really hard rain all day yesterday and last night, lots and lots of rain. So we have set up our sprinkler out here. Even though we have sprinklers in the yard, we just wanted to make sure all the plants were reached. But then we didn't need it because it poured down rain all night long. So we do have the sprinkler on a timer, and hopefully that will help us get through some of the days that are really hot without a lot of rain. But so far the tomatoes are holding up that we transplanted, and the broccoli is still making it. We'll see. And hopefully we'll have some other things pop up here in the next 10 days or so. We have our squash and zucchini and our cucumbers that are still holding up back there as well in the back. So hopefully those will take off, and we might need to build some trellises or things like that to keep them upright. But for now, everything's in the ground, and we'll see how it goes. So thanks for tuning in. If you guys like this video, want to see what happens in the next couple of months, if we get a crop or not, just tune in. We'll do an update soon and let you know if our garden did well or not. Thanks for watching. See you next time.